What is going on, Sports Wars? And we are live here on NBA trade deadline. We've got about 40 minutes to go to the NBA trade deadline is officially upon us. And man, we're a little late, unfortunately. I wish I could have got here a little bit sooner because we had a huge trade go down in the NBA. If you've been paying attention to Twitter, you've probably seen it. Andrew Wiggins, like I speculated the other day, those rumors that started coming around about 2 days ago that Andrew Wiggins would likely be on the move to the Golden State Warriors, it happened. And we will get into it. We will get into who's involved. We know DAngelo Russell is going back to the Timberwolves. But we got Mirror Jeremy and Alex McCarthy in the house already. What's going on, guys? We're going to be getting into exactly what's going on. No way. Cleveland traded for Drummond. That just come down. Man, things are breaking all the time. Let's see what's going on. Let me pull up my screen share for you guys. Pull up my screen share. Let's see. All right. Yeah, smash that melee button if you're just getting here, guys. We're going to do live updates on the NBA trade deadline. That's what is going on. So let me share my screen and give you guys an update on the things that have happened and the things that are currently going on. All right, share this puppy. All right. So you can see 2020 NBA trade deadline, live updates. Here's just Woj doing something. We'll pause that real quick. What's up, Jay Rickman? All right, so the big thing that happened is definitely right here. So this happened about a little over an hour ago, I suppose. The Golden State Warriors have agreed to trade DAngelo Russell to the Minnesota Timberwolves in a deal that includes Andrew Wiggins, a 2021 first-round pick, and a 2021 second-round pick. The Warriors will send Jacob Evans and Omari Spellman to the Timberwolves as well. That is the big thing that is going on right now. What's up, Ruthie? I see Ruthie in the house. Corey Napolitano's in the house as well. And, God, that Andrew Wiggins trade, that's the one I speculated about, made the video about it. They were trying to get a 4-team deal done when Clint Capella went to Atlanta. Robert Covington went down to Houston. They couldn't get it worked out that day, but eventually they gave the Warriors what they wanted, a first-round pick and a second-round pick and Andrew Wiggins for DAngelo Russell. Now, when the Warriors signed, let's see if I can do this. When the Warriors signed DAngelo Russell, in the offseason, knowing that Klay Thompson was going to be out for the entire year, then Steph gets injured, they decide to basically just shut Steph down and tank the rest of the year. That's what they're doing. I think a lot of us knew that DAngelo Russell was going to be there only part-time. They signed him to a 30-year deal, but they were just going to do this the entire time. And the money makes sense. The contracts make sense. And there you have it. Now it's official. Andrew Wiggins is on his way to become a Golden State Warrior. I don't really think that Andrew Wiggins – I think he's going to be fine there. He's not going to be asked to do a lot, which is maybe better because he seems kind of like a beta. That's always how I felt about Andrew Wiggins, a guy with all the talent in the world but just doesn't have the personality required to really lead a team. He's a beta. That's just what he is. He was kind of that way in college too, but you're obviously, he's only 19 years old, so you can kind of forgive him, but he just hasn't really grown into it. You're trading Mirror Jeremy. Are you a Knicks fan? Because I'm trying to pay attention to what's going on with the Knicks right now. So they wanted, pretty epic showdown between the Clippers and the Lakers for Marcus Morris. So let's talk about that right now. That's a trade that is currently in the works. You see Wiggins is trending number one. Ooh, Drummond right here. Somebody mentioned Drummond. Cleveland, there's Woj. Cleveland is finalizing a deal for Detroit's Andre Drummond. Wow. Let's see if we got any more details on this. That's all we have. Cleveland's finalizing a trade for Detroit's Andre Drummond, and that's all I know. So I wonder who they're going to trade for him. Andre Drummond is an absolute dominant force. Cleveland isn't going to do anything this year. Detroit is looking okay. I mean, they're looking better than Cleveland, I suppose. But Andre Drummond, a huge talent. obviously just an absolute double machine down there, but is really an old school center. It's a guy who's going to bully people out of the way. He doesn't, I would say most of his game is just about hustle, heart, and bullying people. You know, he's not some finesse guy for sure. Alex says you need to get back into watching basketball. Yeah, man, you do. It was a good time. We're about to have the All-Star break. That's a little halfway through the season. Have the playoff push, and then all the playoffs all the way through June. It's going to be awesome. Sucks at free throws. Yes, David Hervey. He does suck at free throws. You are 100% correct. All right, let's see if there's any more information on this Andre Drummond deal. Somebody said, LMAO, Drummond went from the worst city in America to the second worst. Progress. Oh, here we go. This is what it sounds like right here. Let me pop this up for you guys. Yep, Chris says, I just see that right here. Drummond trade details. Cleveland gets Andre Drummond. Detroit gets Brandon Knight, John Henson, and a second-round pick. Man. Does that do anything for your team? I guess they're just unloading his contract, I suppose. I don't know if that's an expiring deal. So yeah, this is a great point. Now they have both Andre Drummond and Tristan Thompson. And Tristan Thompson's on a terrible contract. A terrible contract. Yeah, Drummond and Love. I don't know. I mean, I guess Andre Drummond makes up for that physicality that Kevin Love lacks. That's for sure. Tristan Thompson's got to be close to done with that awful contract, though. But all right, let's reset it here. Let's reset it. You can see that Wiggins and the Warriors are trending. That is because the Timberwolves have acquired DAngelo Russell in a blockbuster trade. So Andrew Wiggins, the #1 overall pick of the Minnesota Timberwolves from several years ago, who's currently in the second year of a 5-year deal, I believe. He's making about the same amount of money as DAngelo Russell, so the money works out basically perfectly in this deal. And, they are tired of the Andrew Wiggins experiment with Minnesota. They decided to move on, get Andre Drummond, and not Andre Drummond, get DAngelo Russell, a point guard who is mostly a scoring point guard, but can also probably run a lot of good pick and roll with Karl Anthony Towns. That's going to be interesting. We saw they had a lot of success with Derrick Rose, a scoring point guard, when they were doing that. So maybe that's what they're trying to recreate now that Derrick Rose has moved on to Detroit, where Andre Drummond is now leaving. So interesting. We got a super chat here from Sir Ruin of House Roundhead, $4.99. Thank you, sir. I'm going to the first XFL game this Saturday, DC Defenders versus Seattle Dragons. Awesome, man. You got to let us know how that goes. That's really cool. We've got one. I'm in San Diego. There is one. There's a team in LA. So now Los Angeles has 3 football teams that they really don't want. So I may be able to make it up to a game if I'm probably not this weekend, but when I'm not busy. So looking forward to XFL, at least. It's going to be fun and interesting. That's for sure. But yeah, so DAngelo Russell, who was always, even though they signed him to a 4-year deal, was always kind of looked at as a rental for Golden State, someone that they were going to flip, and they did just that before the trade deadline. DAngelo Russell, who really does not fit into a backcourt when Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are both healthy. Now they're going to have that wing guy who can defend and score a little bit. Not a whole lot of pressure on him, not as much pressure on him to score as there is in Minnesota. Maybe that'll be a better home for Andrew Wiggins. He can get a fresh start. And, oh, man, look at this. I see Drunk 3PO in the house. What's up, Drunk 3PO? How are you doing? That's all right. I know you're busy. It's okay. I waited until you were busy specifically to do an NBA stream. Not really, but that's how it worked out. So now the Cavs have worse shooting, even worse free throw shooting. Yeah, I don't really understand that move. Morris to the Clippers official. Let's check that out. Thank you for that. Let's go to Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris has been traded to the Clippers for Mo Harkless and other pieces. Official. Now, that was interesting. A lot of people were speculating that Marcus Morris was going to go to the Lakers for Kyle Kuzma. Now, personally, I don't. If I were the Lakers, I wouldn't really do that. I don't know. I don't think that's much of an upgrade for you. I think Kyle Kuzma has more potential and is a little better fit for that team right now. So I think it's a good idea for them to hang on to Kyle Kuzma. They didn't trade him, but Mo Harkless is going to New York. And that is official. There's a lot of, yeah, exactly right here. So D'Lo to the Wolves. So DAngelo Russell is going to the Minnesota Timberwolves while Andrew Wiggins goes to Golden State. Drummond is going to Cleveland. Marcus Morris is going to the Clippers. So, man. And we got Drunk 3PO talking about, yeah, you don't get Shamet. Nope. Doesn't look like it. Drunk 3PO, Miami paid too much, like you said. Yeah, so he's talking about that Andre Iguodala trade that went down. Let's actually take a look at that. Whoops, that's this. Let's actually take a look at this Iguodala deal. So now that the full things have come down from this Andre Iguodala deal that happened yesterday, you can see here, the Miami Heat have traded Justice Winslow, who I thought that dude was going to be like a Jimmy Butler light, but he was like a Jimmy Butler like light. He was like Jimmy Butler free. He was nothing. Dion Waiters and James Johnson to the Memphis Grizzlies for Andre Iguodala, Solomon Hill, and Jay Crowder. They're still trying. They were still trying at one point to reach a deal to get Danilo Gallinari from the Thunder, but it looks like that has stalled out. So right now, if the Heat stand pat, they've acquired Andre Iguodala. They signed him to a 2-year, $30 million extension. I don't know why. I don't think that he's worth that much, to be honest. We have a $5 super chat from David Hervey. What's going on, David? Thanks, brother. Appreciate that super chat. Andrew Wiggins could be a good piece to Golden State. He's like a great value version of Kevin Durant. He could really complement Steph and Clay, though. Yeah, I agree, and I think that this could be good for Andrew Wiggins. Like I said, I've always thought that he was a beta. To be like really honest, he's I don't know if there's any Canadians in chat, but he's kind of a Canadian, right? Like, and I don't mean that as an insult, but he's not a he's just not an animal out there. And that's what Minnesota wanted him to be. They wanted him to be this alpha dog, this guy who wanted the ball, who wanted to carry this team, who wanted to lead this team. And I think after, 4 or 5 years, whatever it's been in the NBA, it's very clear that Andrew Wiggins is just not that person. And I think that maybe he's as good as he's going to get right now. Now, like you said, David, I totally agree that move to Golden State, less pressure on him, somebody who they can just say, all right, hey, play great defense, score when we open things up for you. Maybe not a lot of pressure put like him in isolation. Maybe not so much ISO like they had when KD was there, but more of a ball movement offense like they had before KD got there. I think that could be absolutely great for them. And then, hey, thank you, Ruthie. You're doing awesome in here. And David, yeah, Morris to the Clippers with Pat Beverly. That's a deadly defensive combo, especially when you consider they still have Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Is anybody going to play better defense than them? When they're all focused on lockdown defense, obviously Kawhi and Paul George. Maybe not every night. They're not maybe given 100% defensive effort every night because they're trying to stay healthy through the whole regular season. Once a playoff comes, God, that's going to be nasty. That is going to be nasty. Let's see what we have here. Let's refresh, see if we have any more of that information. So the Minnesota Timberwolves have joined the Miami Heat Memphis Grizzlies deal that we just discussed. They will trade Gorgie Jang for James Johnson. Okay, that's not a huge deal right there. Wizards got Napier, says Corey in chat. Let's see what we got. Let's see what's going on. I see Cavs trending, Pistons trending, Drummond trending. And you know what? I am going to actually I had Kyle Kuzma ? In the in the title. Let me change the title of this stream real quick. Drummond to Cavs. Drummond to Cavs. We'll put that in there. Get Kuzma out of here. Get Lakers out of here. Clippers. Sorry, guys. Just doing a couple little things here. Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond. Cavs. All right. That'll be good. There we go. All right. Thank you. That's gearing up to take the Lakers in the playoffs. Yeah. The Clippers are going to be really tough to beat. I think we all kind of know that Kawhi is in cruise control, that Paul George is in cruise control. Let's see what we have going on. I see Corey keeps talking about Shabazz Napier. So let's see if I can find any more information. Shabazz Napier, a UConn guy who has been kind of a journeyman in his short career a little bit, was in Miami, was in Minnesota. Let's see. Let's see if I can search for old Shabazz Napier. Washington has traded Jordan McRae to Denver for Shabazz Napier. There you go. So that is official as well. The Washington team is a dumpster. It's always so funny to see all these people and their opinions on what their teams are doing. Because, for me as a Bulls fan, I've been so frustrated with a lot of things that they're doing over the years. And it's always like my – what is Luol Deng doing here? What the hell? I don't know why Luol Deng is in there. And that's what a lot of people are wondering, if there's going to be a Kuzma trade. Player in the NBA, wonder if he's safe from the trade deadline. Woj. I'm about to ruin this man's career. Woj bomb, baby. That is good. That is too good. All right. Switch this to live chat so I can see what's going on. All right. If you're just joining us, guys, please smash the motherfucking like button. It is NBA trade deadline, and we are discussing just that. I got a couple tabs pulled up here. I've got Bleacher Report. I've got Wojnarowski. I've got ESPN. We're following things along as they break. But the big things to remember right now, let's go cover them. So last night we had the big Andre Iguodala trade. Justice Winslow was a part of that package. A couple other players moving. But Andre Iguodala, the big news out of that is he is going to Miami, signed a $15 million per year extension. So 2 years, $30 million for a guy who can barely move, to be honest. I don't think Andre Iguodala is worth that much in this point in time. But that's what they're doing. They're trying to make a move. I need to get this GIF off because it's driving me crazy. Andre Drummond has been traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Not sure why. I know why they would want him, but they still have Tristan Thompson on the team. The Cavs are kind of shit. But we'll see. Andre Drummond finally, he kind of comes up every trade deadline because Detroit's always kind of mad every trade deadline. So you can see right here, Brandon Knight, John Henson, and a second-round pick for Andre Drummond. Not a whole lot, but I do think Andre Drummond's coming up on his contract, if I remember, which is probably why it's not that much more. But the big thing in the NBA came down a little over an hour ago. But Andrew Wiggins is on his way to Golden State. In that trade, the Golden State Warriors have given not Andre Drummond. What's his name? DAngelo Russell. DAngelo Russell, scoring point guard. Dude who's been able to flourish with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson out. They've really been able to highlight him and showcase him to potential trade partners, and that's exactly what happened. DAngelo Russell on his way to Minnesota. Now, I think that's going to be interesting. I really do think it's going to be interesting to see DAngelo Russell with Karl Anthony Towns running the pick and roll with the big man, the pick and pop with the big man too. They had a lot of success when Derrick Rose was there, when Derrick Rose had his little bit of a resurgence, with a scoring focused point guard running with Karl Anthony Towns, with Big Cat. So here we go. Low-Key T says the Warriors are retarded. What do you mean by that? Because I think we all knew that DAngelo Russell was only going to be there for a little bit. Because once Klay Thompson's healthy, you got Steph Curry. Well, where's the room in the backcourt for DAngelo Russell? That's kind of my question. Unless you're thinking about running a 3-guard system. But, I mean, it's tough to run a 3-guard system when you basically have, Draymond Green playing a quasi-center a lot of the time. That means you already have kind of a small lineup. So to then play 3 guards on top of that, that'd be tough. Andrew Wiggins on the Timberwolves versus Andrew Wiggins on the Warriors. First look at Andrew Wiggins in a Warriors uniform. Man, that certainly looks a lot like Harrison Barnes to me, doesn't it? All right. Also in this trade, we have, or not this trade, but that is the trade between the Golden State Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Also going down, Marcus Morris. The definitive Marcus Morris video tribute. All right. Here you go. Knicks have agreement in principle to trade Marcus Morris to Clippers. And the details behind that is that the Clippers are giving up Mo Harkless to get Marcus Morris. So maybe a little bit of a defensive upgrade there for the Clippers. Mo Harkless is a decent player, but there you go. A very experienced Marcus Morris now for the Clippers who want to make this big run. Russell, Klay, Curry, and 2 defensive bigs would have been unstoppable, huh? Maybe. But we'll see. They didn't think so. It is important to note that in this trade, the Warriors also got a first-round protected pick and a second-round pick, both in 2021. So it wasn't just Andrew Wiggins. They also got a first-round and a second-round pick in addition to that. So they got a decent little haul. The money works out basically the same. DAngelo Russell is in the first year of a 4-year contract. Andrew Wiggins is in the second year of a 5-year contract, and they're basically getting paid exactly the same. So we will see. Like I said before, Andrew Wiggins has not impressed me during his time in the NBA. He's hella talented and just hasn't really ever developed like a lot of us thought he would and should. So what did you miss, ZJ13 GOAT? Well, we got some big trades going down in the NBA. When you look at what's trending right now in the United States, you can see everybody right now is talking about the NBA, especially Andrew Wiggins. So let's do this one first. The Timberwolves acquired DAngelo Russell in a blockbuster trade. According to Wojnarowski, the Warriors have agreed to trade DAngelo Russell to Minnesota in a deal that includes Andrew Wiggins, a 2021 first-round pick, and a 2021 second-round pick. Golden State also unloads Jacob Evans and Omari Spellman to the Timberwolves. So that's what's going on. DAngelo Russell, a score-first point guard, is going to handle the ball in Minnesota with Karl Anthony Towns. Andrew Wiggins, the wing, is going to go play and be the third best player, maybe, over at Golden State. I think that's a role that is much better suited for him, where he can maybe relax, not as much pressure on him. And yeah, Russell and Karl Anthony Towns will be scary, I think, because that's a little more the system they run with a ball-dominant point guard like that, as opposed to that motion offense that I really think the Warriors are going to get back into once everyone's healthy again. Much more that offense that we saw before Kevin Durant got there. Not so much ISO-centric, but yeah. Alex says it would have been nice if JJ Redick went back to Orlando. Yeah, where he got his start. Man, I remember when JJ Redick came into the league, and a lot of people had their doubts, and JJ Redick just every year improved his points per game, like every year for his first 10 years in the league, which is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Jerry West left, and now the Warriors are trash when it comes to building a team, says Low-Key T. Yeah, I think it's funny because we've got we've got some very different viewpoints in chat right now. We got some people that are saying, wow, the Wolves gave up way too much to get DAngelo Russell. And other people are saying, oh, the Warriors are absolute trash for trading away DAngelo Russell. So it's interesting. That's what's so fun about the NBA. Everyone has their different opinions on how exactly this is going to play out. I actually think it's kind of a good move for both teams. To be perfectly honest with you, DAngelo Russell needs the ball in his hand, in my opinion, to be as effective as possible. And I think he will get that in Minnesota. Andrew Wiggins, on the other side of things, I think is kind of the opposite. I think he's going to be better when there's not as much pressure on him, personally. I just got a message. All right, let me get this link to Aaron from Sports Wars real quick. Boom. Let me get that to him. Maybe he can pop in and join us. That would be nice. Ryan was just traded to Collider. Who? Ryan was just traded to Collider. I fucking hope not. Fuck Collider. Yep, Drummond did get traded. That's another trade that is going down. So obviously that Wiggins one is the big one right now. That's the one that a lot of people are talking about. But Andre Drummond got traded to the Cavaliers. And I will go ahead and show you that real quick after I get that off the screen. Oh, yeah, we got Rick and Morty again. All right, so Pistons. The Cavs negotiating for the Pistons for Drummond. I only have $3. Take. The Cavs probably called the Pistons with a prank call, offering some chips, and noticed the Pistons were taking it seriously and ended up finalizing a trade. God, yeah, that is just – they did not give up much for him. I'm trying to find – it was Brandon Knight. Here it is. Brandon Knight, John Henson, and a second-round pick for the monster Andre Drummond. And I see Aaron's hand. He must be driving to work. LeBum did kick Andrew Wiggins off of Cleveland because he wanted he wanted Kevin Love. Yep, very true, very true. Here we go. Let's get Aaron on here. Aaron, what's up, man?
Not much, dude. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. What do you think about these trades?
Dude, what do you think about the fact that our team that we're both a fan of is just a complete fucking joke? Like,
I expect it.
That's why I
wanted to
have yeah, you expect it, you grow to expect it, but that's bullshit, dude. It's absolute bullshit that's what we have to expect as Bulls fans from this organization, man. They make absolutely no moves. They have guys that are like Zach LaVine. I'm sorry, man. Zach LaVine's a good player, but he's not the guy that's taken any team to the promised land. And Lowry has regressed. They look at what they did last year, man. They traded away. Who was it that they traded away? Otto Porter Jr. for guys that are just complete bums, and they gave away like a 2023 pick, like second round draft pick. Like, this is insane, dude. To not make one single move before the trade deadline, like. If they don't get rid of the ownership, if something doesn't change by the end of the season, man, like how do you continue justifying being a fan of something like this? Like, it's getting to the point where they're battling for being worse than the Knicks as like the worst NBA organization.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that they aren't up there right now. If you see the moves that the Bulls have done, hiring a coach who has like no experience or reputation or respect, and immediately giving him an extension. Listen, I like Zach LaVine. I think there's a potential that he could be a 2 for a team that goes somewhere. There's no way he's a 1.
No.
But I really like him though. I really like watching him.
And he's a great scorer, and he's a really, really good player, but he's not the centerpiece of a team.
Yeah, he's a defensive liability too. So it's just rough. But what do you think of this Andrew Wiggins, DAngelo Russell swap? We got a lot of different opinions here. I saw somebody saying that Wiggins is on his third team quickly. When can we say he's a bust? Well, the first one doesn't really count. He was the first overall pick for Cleveland, but before he even played a game, LeBron had him traded. So what do you think about it, Aaron?
I mean, I'm teetering more towards agreeing with the guy that said that. Like, when are we going to start talking about Wiggins being kind of a bust? But I love DAngelo Russell, man. I think he's awesome. So I'm happy for him. Anywhere he goes, if he can help a team win, then good for him. Wait a minute. He went to where did
He's going to Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay. Well, I kind of feel bad for him now because Minnesota is kind of a dumpster fire as well. I think they've lost 13 straight games in a row, 13 or 14 straight games in a row, and they're just not very good. So that's unfortunate for him. I wish that D'Lo was on a team that was a little bit better and had somewhat of a way to compete in the playoffs. But did you already cover the Knicks getting rid of Marcus Morris?
Yep. So we talked Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris is on his way to the Clippers. Hey, I hear your beard scratching your thing.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. There we go. So we already covered that. So, but we can definitely talk about it. Marcus Morris is going to the Clippers for Mo Harkless. And when you look at that, I mean, Marcus Morris is a guy who, when he is focused, can be a really effective defender. And now you've got a team that has, obviously Kawhi, obviously Paul George, Patrick Beverley, and Marcus Morris. So if they're all playing at their best, that could be a pretty insane defensive squad. I think it's a slight upgrade over Mo Harkless. I don't think it's a big upgrade at all.
Yeah, it's an upgrade. It's just funny to me because what we were talking about earlier with the Bulls and the Knicks, like it's kind of like the Knicks gave up like almost their best player in a way. Like he was kind of their best player, wasn't he?
They're garbage. They don't have any talent, not really right now.
Yeah. Overall, I guess I just wanted to jump on here and vent and use this as an outlet to bitch about the Bulls. But
it's like, who do they trade? Do they trade Laurie? Like, who wants Markkanen? He hasn't got any better in 3 years.
I just saw Twitter before I hopped on here, and there's a lot of reports coming out saying that he's very unhappy and he doesn't want to be there. So
I don't give a shit. He's not any good. He doesn't have any fucking. He's not any good.
He regressed under a bad coach. Like, we all expected him to be the next, like, Dirk, maybe, in a way. Obviously, nobody's going to be that good, but that's the path we kind of all wanted him to take and we're expecting him to take, and he didn't. But I just wanted to also say quickly that this overall NBA trade year, season, whatever you want to call it, just hasn't been as exciting as years past to me, especially last year's.
Well, we've got some pretty big trades, to be honest. So 2 days ago, we had the big 4-team deal where you have, Robert Covington headed, and it's not like the biggest names in the world, but it's a lot of action.
I guess action-wise, sure, but it just something about last year seems like maybe last year was just bigger names, and that's why it seemed like a better, more exciting trade year. I do like what the Heat did. To give some help down there to Butler and stuff like that, and obviously, I think
the Iguodala trade is trash. To be honest,
man. I think Jay would love hearing me say this, but like I said, if the Bulls continue on this path, man, I might defect and just become just
be a Jimmy Butler fan.
I mean, I already am. You know that. I mean, I know you are too, but I'm just gonna claim to be a Heat fan, I guess, as long as Butler's there. So,
yeah, I think Iguodala is a good player, a good role player for a team trying to make a run. I don't know why the fuck they're giving him $15 million a year.
That's a little bit much.
That's ridiculous for like a 37-year-old dude who looks 40. Right. It's just too much for me. And I mean, are him and Jimmy going to be on the floor at the same time? I don't know. It seems strange. Yeah, Iggy is a fossil. I agree with that.
I like Iggy though, man. He always seemed like kind of like the dark horse that during all those championship runs with Golden State, like he would come, in big moments and show up and stuff like that. So I've always liked him, but yeah, I mean, he's obviously getting up there in age, and I don't know how much of a piece he's going to play in the Miami Heat, run for the playoffs, but I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, the big thing people are going to be talking about a while is DAngelo Russell and Andrew Wiggins. That's a monster trade. Did you hear about Andre Drummond going to Cleveland?
I didn't.
Yeah, Andre Drummond is going to Cleveland for nothing, basically. So Cleveland's giving them Brandon Knight, John Henson, and a second-round pick for Andre Drummond.
And see, all of this stuff that you say, like, the Clevelands, the New Yorks, and stuff like this, these teams that are really bad, it makes me even more sad about the Bulls because the Bulls can't even be good at tanking. Like, you can't even fucking successfully tank. Like, you're still out there trying to win games for some reason, and it boggles my mind. So.
You still got Gar and Pax out there saying, "Stick to the plan. Let's stay somewhere between the 10th and 20th worst team in basketball every single year." It's awful. Third team in the morning. All right, you gonna get out of here?
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, dude. Again, thanks for letting me join, but got to start work here in a minute. So
nice. Have a good day, man. Thanks for coming by.
Right. See ya.
Bye. All right, and I see someone said that there is another team in the. Let's see. Another team involved in this Marcus Morris deal. Shams has been the one that's been all about this. Knicks Marcus Morris has been informed he is a Clipper. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George in LA added one of the best players available. All right. Let's see. I'm looking for that third team. Corey. If you were a GM, you just draft dudes from the YMCA. They might work a little harder. It might not be quite as tall or as fast. Pistons trading Andre Drummond. All right, let's see if I can find where you're talking about. It might be somewhere around this Morris deal. If it's not there, then I will go and refresh this trade deadline right here. Let's get the latest news, guys. Refresh on ESPN. All right, so this is still the Washington Wizards have traded Jordan McRae, and we are 2 minutes away right now from the trade deadline, so things will be finishing up here. I still only see the Cavs are trading for Detroit Pistons. Let's see if I can pull up Woj's Twitter here, because obviously Woj has some breaking news all the time. Here we go. Wow, Isaiah Thomas. All right, so the Clippers, Knicks, and Wizards have agreed to a 3-team trade that will land Marcus Morris and Isaiah Thomas with the Clippers. Jerome Robinson will join the Wizards, Mo Harkless, and a 2020 first-round pick to the Knicks. So as part of this package, the Knicks do get a first-round pick in the draft. So that is interesting. So they get a little bit more back than just Mo Harkless. So there you have it. That makes a little more sense than just swapping players. So Adrian Wojnarowski with that news. My phone is buzzing all over the place right now. All right. But yes, there you have it. To wrap it up, guys, we are 1 minute away from the trade deadline. I don't know how much more is going to happen, but we have some big things that went down today. We got a James Ennis trade. Philadelphia has traded James Ennis to the Magic for a second-round pick. Now, Philadelphia did have to clear some roster spots. That is probably what this is all about. Let me actually pull that up so we can talk about it. Where is that at? Here we go. So the 76ers have agreed in principle to acquire Glenn Robinson III and Alex Burks from the Golden State Warriors. This happened like this morning. A league source tells ESPN. Philadelphia will send 3 second-round draft picks to Golden State as compensation. The Sixers are working on additional trades to create roster spots needed. So that is what this is coming from, most likely. That's why they traded him away just for a pick, so they can get away from, or so they can open up those roster spots. All right, let's see what else is going on. Now the Clippers are trending at number 1 overall. League sources, here we go. League sources have long believed that Darren Collison's preference is the Lakers over the Clippers. With Isaiah Thomas going to the Clippers, it's reasonable to expect Lakers to eventually sign Darren Collison. So that is also a result right here. I agree with you, Jay Hamilton. The Sixers are a mess. The Sixers are a huge mess. I agree. Bleacher Report making it official there. God, doesn't Isaiah Thomas kind of look fat in this? Look at that. He's gained some weight. He's gained a little bit of weight there. I actually haven't paid any attention to how Isaiah Thomas has been playing this year at all. Low-key T says he's his favorite player. Yeah, I have not been following what he's done in Washington, to be quite honest. I kind of forgot he was there. But that is the overview of this trade. The Clippers, Knicks, and Wizards. The Clippers get Marcus Morris and Isaiah Thomas. The Knicks get Mo Harkless and a first-round draft pick, and Washington gets Jerome Robinson. So there you go. But, of course, the big news that people are going to be talking about for quite a while is this Andrew Wiggins to Golden State trade. Andrew Wiggins is going to Golden State in exchange for DAngelo Russell. DAngelo Russell will be going to Minnesota to play with the Timberwolves, to play with Karl Anthony Towns. How that's going to work, I don't know. I personally, everyone's pretty split on it in the chat. I personally think it's a good move for both teams. I think that Andrew Wiggins has kind of done everything he's going to do with Minnesota. He's not working out there. I think he has potential to fit in what Golden State wants to do. DAngelo Russell gets to go up and will be able to flourish. We'll be able to dominate the ball with the Timberwolves, run that pick and roll with Big Cat. Does that mean that I think the Wolves are going to all of a sudden be a much better team? Not necessarily. I still think there's a lot of problems with that roster. However, I do think that it's a good fit. And yes, he does look chunky, low-key T. Just a little bit. So here we go. With 3 minutes left before the trade deadline and accounting for the Isaiah Thomas addition, the Clippers updated rotation. Zubac, Morris, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Patrick Beverley. That is a hell of a defensive rotation, with the exception of maybe Zubac. Then the second rotation would be Montrezl Harrell, JaMychal Green, Landry Shamet, Lou Williams, and Isaiah Thomas. Very interesting. And you see Jerry West right here. Yeah, they have built a hell of a team with the Clippers right there. That's gonna be interesting to see come playoff time. Andre Drummond is also on the move. Cleveland has traded Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond got traded for a pack of gum and some lint. Basically, I don't really think that they got a whole lot for him. Here we go. The Pistons essentially dumped Andre Drummond because they wanted to avoid the possibility he opted into his $29 million contract next season. So Detroit clears cap space and Cleveland gets a discount opportunity to see what Drummond can do with Sexton and Garland. So there you go. He got traded for Brandon Knight, John Henson, and a second-round pick. Not much. Not much in the grand scheme of things. Let's see. Breaking news from Barstool Sports. The Pistons just traded Andre Drummond for a bag of balls and a ham sandwich. All right, let's see if there's anything else new that we missed. There's that Ennis. We talked about that. Jordan McRae to the Denver Nuggets for Shabazz Napier. That's not too much. You missed Shaq. He was the last NBA player you cared about. Well, he's still on Thursday night TNT. You can catch him and Chuck. That'll be tonight. I think the Bulls are playing tonight, actually, if I remember right. I think the Bulls are playing. Actually got some great games tonight, guys, if you want to watch some basketball. I mean, this isn't really a great game. I care about the Chicago Bulls. So Chicago, New Orleans, get to see Zion's fat ass, I guess. And then the Lakers and the Houston Rockets. So it'll be good to see Lakers Rockets. Other big, did I forget anything here? That's not a big trade at all. Jordan Bell. So Jordan Bell, who was expected to be on the Houston Rockets after that big 4-team trade, he is actually on the move to the Memphis Grizzlies for Bruno Caboclo. The teams are also exchanging second-round picks. But again, if you're just joining us, guys, The big news from this trade deadline that happened maybe 3 hours or so before the deadline actually happened was DAngelo Russell going to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins on his way to Golden State. But let me do one quick check again. Let's see what Bleacher Report says. Yeah, a lot of people talking about the Clippers' potential. A bench that could start for some teams. That's true. They're going to have a hell of a second unit there. A hell of a second unit. I want to see if I can find Woj again. Let's refresh Woj. Still not much more after that 3-team deal that we talked about, Clippers, Knicks, and Wizards, with the big thing being Marcus Morris, Isaiah Thomas will be moving to the Clippers. It looks like that's about it. We'll put this down. Let me ask the chat a little bit. Let's see what the chat thinks about some of these moves. So I want to see a 1 in the chat if you think that in the big trade with Wiggins going to Golden State, DAngelo Russell going to the Timberwolves. I want a 1 in the chat if Golden State won the trade. A 2 in the chat if you think the Timberwolves won the trade. That's what I want to see. Let's see what we got. I want to know what you guys think. Last thing I see there from Loki T, so he looks chunky. Clippers already won the championship. Well, hey, I might have said that about Golden State last year. I might have said it about Golden State last year, and then we saw what happened with Kevin Durant. You never know when these injuries are going to crop up. You never know what can happen. I've got a 2. What else? So, I think I'm in the weird position where I actually think it's good for both teams, to be honest. And you got to remember that Golden State also got a 1st and a 2nd round draft pick out of it. So, again, 1 in the chat if Golden State wins this trade, 2 in the chat if the Minnesota Timberwolves have won this trade. And a 3 if they both got screwed. This trade's not going to work out. Everything sucks. Something like that. 0. All right, 0 works too for that, I suppose. Mostly 1s. Mostly 1s. All right, while you guys are voting, let me pull up Twitter. Make sure that nothing else is happening. Because even though the trade deadline has passed about 10 minutes ago, you still have things that are, that can possibly be in the works, coming down to the end. So Wojnarowski does say no deals for the Oklahoma City Thunder. None at all. No deals for the Indianapolis Pacers at all. And yeah, if your team's one of these teams, like kind of like when Aaron was talking earlier, if you're a fan of a team like the Bulls, like we are, and they're just fucking bad, and you don't do anything at the trade deadline, you don't do anything to try to improve yourself, you don't do anything, it's like, what is going on here? It's so frustrating. The Timberwolves were suck forever. Probably true. Let's refresh this again, refresh that. Just making sure we didn't miss any of these last-minute deals, because it would be a shame to go off the air and miss something like that. Let's go to Barstool Sports. Karl-Anthony Towns' quote after last night's game was an A+ move to bully the Wolves into trading for DAngelo Russell. Yeah, true. Oh, did I say Indianapolis Pacers? That's my bad. I'm reading a lot of things right now. I don't think Woj tweeted that. I'm actually from Indiana, so I should know that. Although I fucking hate the Pacers. I'm a Bulls fan. And yeah, the Pacers, with Victor Oladipo getting healthy again, the Pacers are interesting. I still think that in the East they've got a long way to go. Victor Oladipo is not going to be 100% yet, but Yeah. Good show, man. You're all caught up. Good, Loki T. I'm glad you were here. Yeah, I just wanted to do this. Kind of thought it'd be interesting to do a live update as the trade deadline was coming down to the wire. Let you guys know what had happened. Let you know what was happening. Thank you guys in the chat for helping me out, letting me know that there was some breaking news to catch and all that. That was awesome. But yeah, at the end of the day, Andre Drummond on the move to be on a shitty Cleveland Cavaliers team. You've got to move. Bringing Marcus Morris and Isaiah Thomas to the Clippers. That maybe was a little surprising. We thought that Kyle Kuzma might be on the move from the Lakers for that Marcus Morris deal, but not in the works. Not in the works. You're from Terre Haute. Nice. I'm from spent most of my time in the Valparaiso area or the Goshen, Indiana area. So up in Northwest Indiana is where I'm from. And now I'm living in San Diego. Let me just make sure I refresh Wojnarowski's. You were traded for a ham sandwich and a tunder. There we go. But I think that is it, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up. Thanks, Corey, for some of your breaking news in the chat. That was awesome. I do appreciate that. It seems to be everything else is done. But yeah, this was our. You were born in Goshen? No way, dude. That's awesome, Don. In 81. Yeah, I'm from Goshen High School, class of 2007. So that's where I graduated from. So pretty crazy, dude. Small freaking world at Don Minton. That's awesome, man. But I think that's going to be about it for our Sports Wars stream. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. You never know when we can pop one of these up. Sometimes we do them scheduled. Sometimes they just kind of happen. But got a lot of news. You want to move to San Diego, Loki T? Don't do it, dude. It's expensive as hell here. It's really expensive. Oh, a second rounder, says Corey. Yeah, I was like, what the hell are you even talking about? I thought it was like Tinder. I thought it was like a way to abbreviate Tinder because maybe YouTube was censoring Tinder or something. Yeah, I would much prefer to live back in Indiana, Don, for sure. But all right, guys, that is going to be it. I'm going to wrap it up for Sports Wars. Again, if you guys are joining us, make sure you smash the like button. Subscribe to Sports Wars if you're not subscribed yet. We cover a lot of stuff here from baseball, football, basketball. We're going to start covering even a little more wrestling, because there are some people that have shown an interest in that. So start doing some more of that and pretty much anything interesting that comes out of the sports world, whether it's final scores of games, whether it's fights that happen during games, whether it's stupid Twitter, NBA beefing drama, all that kind of stuff is, always going to be prevalent on Sports Wars. And Don, what's my take on the Pacers not doing anything? That they don't really know what they have. That's what I think. The Pacers, I don't think they're willing to make a lot of moves without knowing what they have with Victor Oladipo back and healthy. That's kind of how I think about it. But yeah, thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell for notifications so you know when we go live, when we post new videos, all that good stuff. But thanks for hanging out. It was a big trade deadline, a lot of moves, and we will catch you on the next one. Talk to you.